Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, this time Game 5 of the clan war between Root Gaming and Fnatic Gaming. Sen was able to end the reign of Kiwikaki, who had been terrorizing the Fnatic Gaming squad, knocking off 2 players and threatening to knock off a third as well before Sen put a stop to it. And now it is down to 2 players per side, so we will start with Game 5 here. In the last game I explained how the clan war system works. I wanted to showcase each of the teams here, give a little bit of details. So first we'll look at Root Gaming, which was formed relatively a new team in 2010 on March 22nd. And their current active roster is Root Cats, Root Druby, who are the co-leaders, and then they also have QXC, very strong Terran player, Kiwikaki, and Slush. And then they recently added Minigun, who had been on Inflow Gaming and prior to that had been without a team, so they will now have Root Mini, and he's basically the top Protoss player on the North American ladder, so a very, very strong squad of players is Root Gaming. As we get underway here with Game 5, we have Sen again spawning as the Teal Zerg, Phone Wang is the account he's playing on, and we do have Root QXC spawning as the purple Terran player in the northwest corner of this Delta Quadrant map. And with these positionings, I really have to think, especially in this TVZ matchup, that Root QXC is really going to like the starting positions, and that's for a few reasons. One, if a Zerg wants to fast expand, they either have to come outside of their base, and this is very, very close. If we check, go down a ramp or two here, and up a ramp, and you're right in QXC's base, so it's like a Steps of War length between the expansion here and the Terran opponent. Or you can try the backdoor rocks, which take quite a bit of time to take down as Zerg in the early game. Again, those debris have 3 armor, so Zergling is doing very little damage to them. And also between the 2 players and over top of the backdoor rocks of Sen is going to be this ledge, and Kiwikaki is going to be able to drop. He could drop siege tanks up here, he could make a turret or 2, and really control the airspace between both players. So I'd be interested to see what Sen's going to do here once he does figure out these positions, and he will know shortly, as this Overlord will be able to see the supply depot in just a moment. At the moment we see Sen working on gas first. We saw him go for an early, like 11 pool last time against Kiwikaki, but it looks like he'll be going for a gas and then pool, trying to get some early speedlings, and that's going to be good for map control. He does see the supply depot pulling back because he knows that QXC hasn't yet scattered his base. But now QXC is going to be making his way into the base of Sen. He's going to see that gas timing, he's going to see the spawning pool, he'll know that speedlings are on the way, and now Sen, feeling better about pushing that Overlord up into the base of QXC, wants to see whether there's going to be a second Rax accompanying the first Rax, as we see a Marine coming out. So QXC going to do his best to try to take down this Overlord, and that Overlord really needs to get out of there. It's getting a little too close. The Marine's about to finish. A lost Overlord in the early going here can be very detrimental to any Zerg player. And it looks like completing the wall off, QXC is about to throw up another supply depot, and he could throw down a tech lab or a reactor there to complete the wall off. And that Overlord down to about half health. QXC just pounding away with the 1 Marine. And looks like he's going to not give up, trying to take down that Overlord. Back in the base of Sen, we do see that he has started speed, and he just has 1 drone on gas right now, actually pulling off a few more. So taking down the Scout SCV, looks like that Overlord is going to live with about 30 hit points left. So back in the base of QXC, we do see he has 1 gas up and running. He's got a factory coming up as well, and he's landing that barracks so that he is completely walled off as soon as the Zerglings get up here. And that 1 Zergling going to be taking the watchtower in the center, and the other one's going to be poking up this ramp, wants to see whether they can see an extra production building, whether they're going to be able to see 2 racks there. At the moment they just see the 1 barracks and a number of Marines, a bunker going down for QXC as well. So playing a little bit defensive at the start while he does try to tech up. We'll see whether he goes for mech here or immediately starts with a starport after that factory has finished. Looks like Sen feeling comfortable that his opponent will be teching up and getting down a fast hatchery here. Well, not too fast, around the 5-minute mark. It's about halfway done here. And we do see the QXC sending another scout out, so we will be able to see this expansion going down. And if he makes his way into the base of Sen, he's going to see a Baneling nest. So Sen may try some sort of bust here. Will that SCV see the Baneling Nest? It looks like he will, as I believe QXC did see that morphing in. So he's going to have to really watch out for any sort of Baneling bust. The supply depot is only 400 HP, so they will go down in 5 Banelings, and then more Banelings can roll right through these bunkers as well. Speed has finished, so these Lings can be able to poke up here, see the bunker in position and the count of Marines, and now he's going to know for sure that his opponent is teching up. QXC actually getting out a siege tank, so I wonder what he will be doing with this. Getting out a medevac as well, so maybe going for some sort of drop play with a siege tank. We do see Sen's expansion has finished, making a lair interestingly enough at this expansion. So we're going to add a bit of HP onto this hatchery with that lair. If we check the income tab, it is 23 to 25. So Sen feeling good, droning up a little bit now, adding an evolution chamber. And it looks like QXC has a medevac filled with a siege tank and 4 Marines going to go for this high ground. So they're going to be able to deny any expansion at the back door. And the siege tank, once siege tank does finish in a few more units of time, may actually be able to reach the drones here. So 4 Marines coming down trying to pick off an Overlord that will supply cap Sen, and picking up those Marines before any sort of Zerglings can come and defend is QXC. And just going to own this high ground, trying to pick off another Overlord, so being very annoying right now with these Marines. And QXC Micromaster using just very small numbers of units to terrorize his Zerg opponent. And I believe, yes, he will be able to start shelling these drones, trying to take down a few of these drones. And the AI of the computer is going to try to keep populating these mineral fields. But Sen going to have to continually make sure that his drones are not on these top 2 mineral fields. We do see a Spinecrawler in good position, going to prevent those Marines from getting in on those drones any more than they already do, or they already are. And it looks like we have a lot of Banelings at the front door of QXC being prepared. That is a row and a half of Banelings, so 12 Banelings. Sacrificial Zergling going up there, seeing a partially filled bunker, and QXC picking up another few Marines and a siege tank, going for more of a siege here, but he really needs the siege tank in siege mode here to take down these Banelings as the Banelings roll through those supply depots, rolling through the bunkers as well. And now these Zerglings are going to be in the base, and a few Banelings as well of QXC. Banelings going right for the mules and the SCVs. Not a lot of damage done on the SCVs right now, but these Zerglings are just terrorizing, taking down the remaining siege tank, and going to be taking on these SCVs. We check the unit counting station is 28 SCVs, and more Zerglings streaming into the base. QXC's front door completely wide open, and more Zerglings coming in. He's going to do his best to pull these SCVs back to his defensive forces here. He's got all these Marines coming back and rallying. Sen doing a good job getting a surround on those Marines, taking down so many SCVs right now, down to 654 SCVs, and these SCVs are all going to go down as QXC has to give the GG. Wow, so QXC getting the siege tank up at the high ground, really terrorizing Sen, but Sen very calm, cool, collected, gets up that Baneling Nest, attempts the bust, and just busts through the supply depot and those bunkers, heads right for the mineral line with a few Banelings there, and then just streams Zerglings into the Terran base, and there was nothing QXC could do. He was a little bit out of position, perhaps went a little bit too hard on the offense there, did not have that siege tank, which was in his base in siege mode at the front of his door. That could have splashed down a lot of those Banelings, perhaps limited the damage, and given him time to retreat with his front forces there. But instead, Sen going to take this game, taking 2 from Root Gaming now, knocking off 2 very strong players in KiwiKaki and QXC, and now there will just be 1 player left for Root Gaming, and that's going to be their co-founder, their co-leader, Root Druby. And he's going to have to go through 2 strong members of Fnatic if he wants to come back in this one. I will go ahead and bring you Game 6 of this clan war coming up right now. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you there.